Aloha everybody and welcome to part 18 of Banjo-Kazooie, where the video quality might be terrible, but at least I don't come off like a douchebag. Anywho, we're now moving on to the winter season, and that means we get a return to those snowball enemies, the ones with the giant hats that you have to fly and beak bomb into in order to kill. This time around we don't actually have to beak bomb them in order to get a Jiggy or anything. That's what we had to do with Freeze's Peak. Not so much here. But you do want to climb to the top of Mumbo's hut here, though, because there's a blue Jinjo on top, and that is the last Jinjo for us to find. The last Jinjo ever, because this is the last world. No! But that's where he's hiding, and that's where his Jiggy is. So I'm only missing one more Jiggy. And what's Mumbo up to? Let's just check it out, and, oh, it's a bee shack. Mumbo's on vacation! How can you talk? Well, you do have eyeballs. But whatever. Still gonna smash you. So apparently Mumbo's on vacation. He doesn't want to hang out in the cold. Although he hangs out in the cold in Freeze's Peak, so I don't know. But anywho, the thing they add to this area, the flight pads are here now. So now we can actually fly around Click Clock Wood. And we're gonna need to do that in order to kill the snowman, obviously. But there's still musical notes to be lying around. So keep an eye out for those. And the last Jiggy I need, well, it's from Irie the Eagle. So I gotta go meet up with the Eagle, who may or may not be a guy or a girl. I think it's a girl, actually, now that I think about it. Irie's a big bird now, so we gotta check it out. Two things that are destroyed during the winter. The beehive just sort of crumbles into itself. The plant falls apart. Oh god, everything's dying. Even the claptrap creatures, the snare bears, as they're apparently really called. Even they have crumbled and fallen apart. But you know what? I like winter. Winter is my favorite season of them all. A lot of reasons why. One, it's fun to make snowmen. I like the cool serenity. I like the cool peacefulness of a nighttime when it's snowing and it's not really windy or anything. It's the most perfect feeling in the world. I just love walking around town when it's nice and it's not too cold, but it's just snowy everywhere, and it's great. The musical notes are on the top of the house, and this one could be easy to miss as well. You have to sort of jump up there, then talon trot immediately so you don't slide off, and that's how you get these 4 musical notes up here. Very easy to miss, these musical notes. But also, no mosquitoes. No mosquitoes to bother me and suck my blood while I'm walking around town, while I'm sitting in the house, you know. I hate mosquitoes. I have a very irrational hatred of mosquitoes. They get under my skin. They drive me apeshit. I'm not a big fan of things constantly buzzing near my ear when I'm trying to sleep. You know, you're just lying in bed, and then all of a sudden, it's like, what the hell was that? So you have to turn on the lights, get up, look for it, because it drives you crazy! Anyway, you could go visit Nabnut's house, although his quest is over. So let's go check on him. Let's see what's going on. Oh, he's got a lady squirrel friend! A recolored pink Nabnuts. Oh, good for him. I didn't know he had a wife. But they're just gonna keep sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. And we won't see them again. So have fun, Nabnuts. You can't actually enter through the doorway. That's why you have to smash the window. But anywho, in winter, besides the Jiggy I need to get from Irie, I went in here, but I don't actually need to. I just wanted to see if there was anything, like, musical note-wise I needed to get. Apparently I did not. But, there is a few things in winter I do need to get aside from the last Jiggy. There is a Gruntilda switch here, which unlocks the last Gruntilda's Lair Jiggy. And it's right on a very solitary platform next to a snowman. We may have passed by it when I was getting to this area. And there's a honeycomb as well. There's a flight pad over here, and this is the best flight pad to get it with. But I also want to kill that snowman just because he annoys the shit out of me. But fly. And there's a window higher in Nabnut's area. Actually, first I'm killing the snowman, but there's Irie. Irie got big, right? So I'm sort of aiming, trying to get this snowman because his snowballs annoy the shit out of me. Oh, there! I hate this bastard. The worst enemies in the game. Not even invincibility can destroy him. Boom! There you go. But there's a window high above Nabnut's doorway that you couldn't really get into in spring, summer, and fall because it was just far too high and whatnot. You have to beak bomb it. You have to beak bomb the window. Boom. And then you gotta find a way to get in. You can either just land on it and just sort of float in. Like, whoop, not like that. But like, come on, there you go. Like that. And there's a honeycomb in here. As we know, honeycombs refill your life. And we need one more in order to get the last health bar. Because again, this is the last world. Can you feel the finality? We're almost about ready to show down with Gruntilda the Witch. It's great, right? It's magical. But anyway. Let's go visit Irie. Let's see what she's got for us. Because she got huge! Not in a fat way. The snow is still slippery, so that's one thing about climbing this building by Banjo alone. Be careful where you're walking, because if you let go of the control stick, it's easy for Banjo to just slide off the tree and fall and break his legs. So you don't want that. Got a majestic beast, Irie. And that would be the last Jiggy of Click-Clock Wood. So we just got one more honeycomb to get, and then we gotta hit the Gruntilda switch, and we're pretty much done here. Where is the last honeycomb? I don't even remember. I recorded this footage a while ago, and I'm trying to think of where it is. So it'll be a mystery to me, too. I guess there is one reason you want to climb to the top in winter, though. Musical notes. So that I forgot about. Gotta be careful. This is why I'm tiptoeing. I don't want to slide off the edge. It's slippery now. But, you know, I hate mosquitoes. I hate when heat affects you and then you get smelly, you know? I feel like you gotta shower more in the summer when you're just walking around and... Oh man, Clement. Gotta buy lots of deodorant, because if you don't, you're gonna smell all the time, because heat makes your armpits stink, and then the ladies find you undesirable. Damn it, summer, why are you so hot? Winter, that still happens. I wear a lot of heavy jackets when I'm walking around outside, but still, when I'm lying in the house, I don't get that sweaty, you know? I'm less likely to stink like a baboon. I mean, I always wear deodorant every day, but still. Sweaty and smelly, I don't like being that. And winter doesn't do that to me. Summer does. And then you got Christmas during winter. Christmas is one of the best holidays, because well, it was when I was a kid, not so much anymore, but it's still fun. You might get gifts from your friends and family. When you're a kid, you definitely will, but when you're an adult, not so much. I think I got, like, socks and a sweater this year. It's like, my mom doesn't know what video games I play. She has no idea. But there's the Gruntilda switch. It unlocks a Jiggy that you're going to need to be a bee in order to get to. So before we leave Click-Clock-Wood, we will have to return to Spring and visit Mumbo's hut again so that we can get it. Oh, I remember where the honeycomb is now. Okay, the water has been frozen, right? But there is one little entrance in. And the warning, though, it is winter, so it's going to be draining your air that much quicker. Because it's so freaking cold, right? But we're going in anyway, because we gotta go visit Naughty, the beaver. We gotta go into his house, because he might have something for us that he didn't before, and it's a reason for us to check it out in winter. And what could it be? It's the only thing we need left! Get out there! I don't usually get visitors in winter. The last honeycomb! And so now that we've gotten every honeycomb in the game, our health bar is the highest it will possibly be. Booyah, ladies and gentlemen. We are one healthy bear and bird. And that is every collectible in Click-Clock-Wood. So yeah, be warning, if you're not fast in the water, it's easy to die in here. So you might want to save this for last. It is pretty much the last thing you can do, or would want to do. So, you know. That's how the cookie crumbles. We got all the musical notes. We got all the jiggies. We got all the Gruntilda switches and honeycombs. We're done with this world. So now I'm just going back to spring to become a bee so that I can get the Gruntilda's lair jiggy, which is number 100. We have 99 out of 100 jiggies. God, sense of finality. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost done. Isn't that great? I mean, I love this game, I do, but it's going to be nice to move on to something else. This playthrough's been going on quite a bit. And, you know, I love the ending of this game. The final boss of this game is so good. And I can't wait to talk over that stuff, but, you know. Also the soundtrack. But I've already said this a million times. It's just now that we're in the spring version of Click Clock Wood, the best version of Click Clock Wood, God, that music. That music is so good. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, seriously, winter's the best season. And you're all wrong for believing otherwise. I am right and you are wrong. Deal with it, kids. And yes, you are all children, especially if you react like one. I'm sorry. So anyway, we transform into a bee, and we are pretty much done with Click Clock Wood. We can go into the teleporter and back into Gruntilda's Lair's hub world. I probably could have saved the bee ones for last. Like, I could have visited Mumbo, like, dead last, so I could get the last two Jinjos, and... Or, sorry, the last pink Jinjo, and, like, the Jiggy at the very top of Click Clock Wood. But whatever. It doesn't matter. It would have saved us, what, like, 2 minutes? I like how fat he has to waddle around when he's just walking around as a bee. What? Your best note score for this world is 100, which means I have 900 out of 900 musical notes. And now when I pick up this last jiggy... If the camera will cooperate... Come on, camera. Land. There you go. Boom! That is every jiggy in the game. I have gotten every collectible in this game, ladies and gentlemen. 100% completion! Unless you count the Mumbo tokens, but you shouldn't. Oh, God. So let's take a look at the totals, just so we know. 10 out of 10 for Gruntilda. 100, 100, 10, 10. 100, 100, 10, 10. 100, 100, 10, 10. I have finished everything. It even shows you how long it took you to complete each world. So most of them were done in under a half hour. Most of them. Except for Click Clock, because it was so big. But, yeah, we have completed this game, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to move on to the final scenario. We only needed 765 notes to enter this area, but maybe there's a reason we collected more than 800 later down the line. Not to spoil anything. But Gruntilda the Witch has had our sister Tootie. Surprisingly has not transformed into a sexy, hot, green... witch, and Tootie has not turned into an ogre, even though we've spent so long in this castle, spent so long going through all these worlds. I don't know what's taking them so long, but, it's time to face off with Gruntilda. It's time to rescue Tootie at long last in part 19. See you then, ladies and gentlemen. Toodles.